Record to the cloud. We're recording to the cloud.
Oh yeah, I got a notice of a YouTube video that we did, and it's got my face really close laughing. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, oh, make sure you back away from the camera. I've been on my computer way too long. Slap happy.
I feel you. I feel you for sure. How's Miss Robin?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you tonight?
I'm well. I broke my chair, my couch. This thing right here won't
good.
come up now, so I broke it.
Oh no.
I broke it. I've had the couch less than a month and it's broke it.
Maybe you can fix it.
Do you have a warranty?
Yeah, I already called it in.
That is good.
So give some people some time to log in. That's how the PM class always seems to lag behind a little bit.
So all the fire evacuation stuff is crazy, isn't it?
Right. So especially in the community, like up close to stuff, you can see it. So if you guys see those posts up, we need some supplies, some water and other beverage supplies and stuff. So bottles of water, if you have them, drop them off the market center. Or if you want to share those posts out there to your communities, that's really helpful. I'm kind of nervous of it because the wind's going to shift. And if the wind shifts back into town, it can move that fire even closer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of moved out of Oro Valley into Catalina. So it's kind of crazy.
Is it affecting any homes yet?
Not yet. They got us evacuated.
Okay. So are you evacuated?
Was I evacuated? Oh no, I'm really far from that.
Oh, okay.
Good.
I make you guys seem like I live in a big luxurious house, but I like to live in middle class neighborhoods. I don't like the mansions. Too much shit to clean up. Too big of a mortgage. I can't have my toys. Jason, you're home? Thumbs up, Jason.
For what?
Oh, I just wanted to say you're home.
Oh, I'm not home.
Oh.
I just at the hotel in where am I at? Fort Stockton.
Fort Stockton?
I've driven through there.
So
I said-
Ricky Anderson's on.
I wasn't going.
Some of the people we don't see often get on. This would be a good class.
Trying not to take any, but I got tired of Texas desert, so
You got tired of what?
looking at Texas desert. So I did the. There's a thing called Twisted Sisters, amazing ride. I did that, and then I was done. So I just jumped on the freeway and got to Fort Stockton.
Cool.
I would in your hair.
Emily, I like your hair.
I just got out of the helmet.
Me too. I always see Jason with a hat on because I like to think that he's bald like me, but he's got so much hair. Oh. Well, how is everyone's day going so far?
Good. What are we masterminding? I just got a text. So I'm like, I'll jump on, see what's
That's
going
so
on.
good.
I know, Eileen, your day's been kind of rough. I'm sorry. She lost the seller over a listing that kind of fell sideways over a $9,000 reduction in appraisal. So that's good to share out there because that lets people know that the appraisals are coming in light. Teresa had the same thing. They came in at value and they were 9,000 under list, which lets me know that there was some ideas out there that the market was still going to be strong with the appraisers trying to keep it in check. Unfortunately, that's what we're going to see because they feel like they have the authority to do so. Hey, Ari, how are you?
I've had a really great day. I had 2 buyers get accepted contracts, which one of the buyers is in that lower like 150 price range, and we have put in so many offers. Oh my gosh. So we're finally under contract, and I'm just praying that it sticks and that it comes together. And I got a new listing sign, so I'm pretty darn happy. If nothing else happens for the next couple of weeks, I'll be okay.
Awesome.
Guys, let's get started. I want to start things off with something we talk about all week. We've been doing scripts and role play about asking powerful questions. So those of you on the call, what is a powerful question?
An open-ended one for one.
All right. Someone give me an example of a powerful question.
What have your family and you been up to while this unsettling time has been happening?
Okay. Great, powerful question.
What's going to happen if we don't accept this price from this buyer at this time?
Okay. So I've heard two whats. What else we got out there? Give me some powerful questions.
Why is a fourth bedroom important to you?
Okay. Why is a fourth bedroom important to you? All right. Two more, and then we're going to jump into my little lesson, and then we're going to start doing some work on it.
How are we getting to close?
All right, Stormy, what do you got?
Do you have referrals?
Is do you have referrals a powerful question?
No, that's a yes or a no.
Still powerful. We want to ask for it.
Yes.
Or you could rephrase it like, how many people do you know that I could help as much as I helped you today?
Perfect.
Yeah. True. It does need to be rephrased. It's a little strong.
But yeah, powerful question. A little stronger there.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Or what? So these are all great. What you want to do, and here's the definition. Really, not really that I was defined as a powerful question is a question that is answered with a paragraph, not a word. So it doesn't have to be yes or no. It can be, do you want black or white? What color couch do you want? What color house do you want? How many bedrooms do you want? They're not yes or no questions, and yet they're still not powerful questions. They're close-ended. They are answered as simply as either one word or just a statement. So bear with me as I do the share screen and drawing on the computer kind of thing. But if you guys have a pen and paper, take it out. This is a good time to take some notes. And this is going to be some real easy, good, powerful stuff. So we're going to do some share screen. We're going to do a whiteboard. Can you all see my whiteboard?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to see our whiteboard in your picture. I want you to draw a square. Okay? Got your square? Now I want you to take from the bottom left up to the center of the top, and then do the opposite, creating a triangle within that square. You all have a triangle?
Yep.
Now, we're going to draw 3 horizontal lines to segment our triangle into 4 sections. Pay no mind the fact that they're even or not. You don't really need to worry about that. Everyone should have something similar to this, right?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Now, in the bottom square, I want you to write the word why. Now, I want you to write the word what. In the second to top square, we're going to write how. Oh, I'm totally backwards. I apologize. I'm looking at my other square. So you bear with me.
It's okay.
Are you bearing?
Yep.
We're going to have to cross out.
You're gonna have to cross out. It won't even let me change it.
Click and delete.
It won't. That's weird.
Undo.
Undo. Was there an undo? Undo. So at the bottom we have why. Then we have how. I apologize. Then we have why. And in the top box,
You mean what?
yeah, what? You guys should see my handwriting.
Who, what, how, and why.
Who, what, how, and why. Now that we got through that kerfuffle, on the side boxes here, we're going to write the words energy. Right?
Okay.
You guys all tracking and following with me? Can you see my
Yes.
cursor?
Yep.
Yep.
This is the powerful question pyramid. I don't know if that's the exact term of it, but that's what we're going to name it. These are the type of questions: the hows, the whys, the whats, the whos. You know, these are the types of questions. Who did it, what they do, how they do it, and why they did it. Following me?
Yes, sir.
These questions in this right here is the amount of energy each question exudes, creates. We can see
That's you.
why
Bless
question
you.
doesn't exactly generate a lot of energy. And in some situations, a why question can actually take away from energy. That's why it's here at the bottom. If you ask the wrong why question, you can put it into a negative space where you're taking away energy. Secondly, we have a how question. How many rooms? How is that important? How are you going to get there with your current course of action? You know, a little bit more energy. Now we're getting to a neutral positive, right? Asking what questions? What's important about that? What would this change in your life if we make this offer work? What would it take for you to say yes to this offer? What would it take for you to use me as your listing agent? Now, let's get to the most powerful energy causing question there is: who? Who's going to benefit from us accepting this offer? How does that feel, guys? Did that kind of challenge you? Whose life is going to change if we get this house on the market tomorrow? Who's going to be affected if we don't get this house sold? Who's going to be affected if we don't take this offer? Who's going to live in the house with you? Who's the first person you're going to tell you have a new pool? You following me? Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a little bit so we can all see each other. Let's start going over some scenarios. Again, who wants to ask me a powerful question?
Why do you want to sell? Or why do you want to buy?
Yeah? Let's go for something a little bit more powerful than that.
Okay.
Go up the pyramid.
Whose future are you going to influence by selling your current home and moving to the new neighborhood?
Right.
Yeah.
Now let's take Stormy's question. Why do you want to sell? How can we make that a little bit more energy invoking?
What's important about selling your home in 3 months?
What's important? Or what's
Who
causing?
benefits?
Yeah, I love that. Who benefits from selling the house? Whose decision was it to sell the house? It's a closed-ended question, but is it powerful?
It could start a very powerful discussion.
It can definitely start a discussion. What kind of advantage will this give your family? I love that. Thank you, Laura, for the chat. So,
What would it mean to you to sell your home today?
what was that, Jesse?
What would it mean to you to be able to sell your home today?
What would it mean?
What would it mean? On the scripting calls, we hear a lot of asking questions. What's important about that? What's the determining factor? What's to gain? What's important? Where are you going to go next? Doesn't happen to be on here, but where is a what question? Where is a location of what place? Where? When? A what question? When is what time? See how that works out?
Yeah.
So how questions are, how is it going to make you feel? What feelings are you going to bring, or what feelings is selling the house going to bring to you?
Should be. Let's go Sunday.
Who's got some questions? Let's do some buyer-sided thought questions.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, I missed it. What was your question?
Exactly. What was your question?
What was your question?
Who's in the background distracting you?
My husband was. He's the floating man
Not
behind
on
me.
the call.
He's
That's
the plant. I know. He's like, who are you talking to?
Oh, you know. So who questions are kind of hard to wrap into these things until you're really tying an emotional response. That's when you're like a buyer. Who's going to live with you?
Who do you know who?
Who do you know I can talk to about buying or selling, investing in real estate? Who do you know I can ask to talk about buying or selling a home?
You want me to check
Stormy, who have you sold since you've been back in Tucson?
Yeah. I get it.
You started answering.
My dad's house.
There you go. What did that mean to you to sell your dad's house?
It meant that he was gonna buy a house.
Awesome. How is that transaction going?
That transaction is over, and now we're looking to buy a home.
Why?
Yeah, one home. Yeah.
Why? It kills conversation. Why?
Yeah, right.
Why is that transaction over? Because it is. Cause.
Or how did that transaction go, right?
How are you going to proceed next?
How are you going to proceed?
How many referrals did it get you?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people working already.
What you got, Miss Hope?
I think Anthony sold, right? Anthony Satella helped you, right?
Yes, me. Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Hope.
Hi.
Hi. Screens. I didn't know it was you. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone that wants to help me, I take help from everybody. But yeah, absolutely. Anthony's my buddy. Yeah, definitely. And then Craig Thompson too. But I don't think he works at KW anymore. But Anthony and Craig Thompson, man, they're like my mentors. So.
Good people. Yeah, no, I took over Craig's role at that market center for all of the company. So.
Yeah, right on, Dan.
I'm here for you. As those on the call can attest, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Tess just heard Tess. What are you working on, Tess?
I'm looking at the powerful question pyramid and trying to think of who questions.
Who are you going to call tomorrow and have these conversations with?
True, but the question that kept coming to my mind was, who are you going to be 5 years from now if you don't buy this house?
Very powerful. I like it. So that's good stuff.
Who are you going to be if you don't make your phone calls in 5 years? You're not going to be on this call. That's what it is. You'll be in another job.
These are the things. We talked this morning about doing the forward questions, right? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. That was in the morning scripts and role playing and writing down questions to correlate with each acronym letter. Who did that? It's all right, guys. The amount that you want to put into your practice and play outside of direct supervision is how much you grow in the business. So I get it. You get busy. But don't let the tasks like these, because they seem so minuscule and tiny, push out there, because it's really these small nuts and bolts, the small ahas that change your life. It's understanding that what is more powerful than why. Who is more powerful than how.
I've been dissecting the purchase contract all day, or most of the day in between my calls.
You know what, Teresa, the moment you get done looking at all pages of that 11-page document,
It'll probably change.
writing it down, no, it's going to change inevitably. You just made yourself 99% better than the marketplace and understanding of that contract. There are agents in this company that do 40, 50, 60 transactions a year that don't know the timelines that you're writing down.
Dan. Dan.
Yes.
Can we wasn't on the call this morning, but you said for family, occupation,
dreams.
Yeah, man. Someone was talking to me about that the other day. I've only heard about it once. But,
Recreation and dreams.
Who wants to explain what the method is?
Well, family would be like if I called you, I'd ask you about your family, right?
Right.
Hey, what's up, Dan? How's the family?
Good.
Yeah. All right, good. I know it's the coronavirus, so I just wanted to call and check.
Or
and
who
then
in
the
your
job,
family has
are you
changed the most?
still
Yeah.
working? Are you still working, Dan?
I am.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. That's right. I'm still working. Even with the coronavirus, you're lucky to be able to work. So you still plan on going on that trip and camping for 4th of July? Or did that change your plans?
Yeah, everything got canceled.
Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm right there with you, Dan. Now let's talk about your dreams.
Yeah, and on the dreams, it's like kind of like, well, what are your plans for, the fall? Are your, recreation stuff you're doing now for the fall, or, do you have, what are your thoughts for next summer? Is things going to push out there, or, if they had been talking about buying a house, is that house, it's feeling a little small now, so.
Yeah.
Is your dream to buy it now, later?
Like on that one, Storm, you're still going on that camping trip in July? That was a dream question. You skipped over far. So what that is when you're talking about something you all talked about in the past, all you have to do is start that back up. Is, oh man, that sucks. What are you going to do instead?
Right.
Start the conversation again. Keep them short. Alleviate. So you don't have to do FORD in order. You can hit it whatever direction you want. It's knowing how to get back to those questions without being like, how's your family? How's your occupation? What are you doing for recreational activity?
Well, and what I do is I don't hit all those questions in one phone call. Since there's 4 letters, those are my 4 phone calls for the year.
Cool.
I would challenge you to hit those 4 in every call and still make 4 phone calls a year. You'll get deeper engagement.
It's just systematic. I probably get there anyway. It's just that's my one focus, is at least that one question. There'll be more.
All right, I got to think about family. How's your kids? Awesome. Talk to you later.
No, it just gets you deeper. You have to know each and every one, and the grandkids and their neighbors and their dogs and everyone else in their family. You can go deep on one question. Come on, Dan.
Go
Get creative there.
3 deep.
Exactly. You can at least get 3 deep on a family question.
Like, I even know what Robin's cat's name is.
But do you know what my dog's name is?
I didn't know you had a dog.
Exactly. See? Family questions.
I barely know you have a husband.
Barely.
His name is Eric. Just guessing.
Floats in the background sometimes. With the Emily and Eric team, Eric holds up the train there. The caboose.
The conductor's in the back.
Yeah, he makes it go.
It's great. That's a good point. Is asking those questions and get deep. Don't just do it to pacify the call and check off a box. Like, yep, I called Mr. Jones and we talked about his dogs. Check. His family is check. He's at work. Check. Get to a point where you can really buy into it. So you come across Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones absolutely loves mountain climbing. He's always up on Mount Lemon. He's having a ball. He's thinking about putting a cabin up there. Would you call Mr. Jones right now? Out of the blue? Hey, Mr. Jones, I was thinking about you. This fire's got me kind of worried. I hope you guys haven't gotten that cabin up on Mount Lemon yet, have you? If you didn't get to the level that Mr.
I
Jones
think
is-
my land up there is going to be a little crispy, but luckily there's nothing built on it yet.
So, sad faces. Well, that's the thing is when you get to those levels, you can pull them back out. And that's what the Ford method is all about, is creating rapport that you can anchor back to later on. And I have to say that Emily does a damn good job of it.
Oh, thank you.
I know, I hear
I like my peoples. I like my peeps. Well, I mean, and that's what the whole, real estate thing is about. Most of your transactions are from your sphere. And if you aren't real with your sphere, you don't have to be that perfect agent or that, perfect suited agent or whatever. It's messy. Real estate's messy and I'm messy and it's all going to be messy. And if I didn't ask my Ford question with the right who, what, where, when, why, at least I made the damn call. So just pick up the phone and make the calls. Or text, or, I kind of hate calls. So I usually text or pop by because I'm afraid of my phone besides texting on it. I don't even realize it can actually make phone calls. But do it. You just got to make sure you know your people, make sure you know what their needs are. So you can just, oh yeah, I was at Walmart at 7 a.m. and got you some Lysol wipes because the only time they have it at Walmart is 7:30 in the morning. But, and you pop it by and you're like, hey, I thought you could use some wipes. And they're like, wow, that's awesome. Thanks.
Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
And if you haven't been in command and done some of those campaigns, I mean, I've done some Facebook ads that I have no idea what's out there, what I sent out there, but I did it and it got a lead or two. And, you just kind of keep doing it messily along.
Teresa has a lead story on that we were talking about today, that she spent a little bit of money and ran some ads, and she's got a couple of good contacts and a pre-approved buyer.
Nice.
Actually, several of the buyers I'm working with all came from ads. So
Good.
yeah.
Beautiful.
It's not online dating, people. Don't be afraid of it.
Teresa, you're gonna have to teach a class now. Jesse, if you're still on, Teresa can teach a class on Facebook campaigns.
Oh, Jesse's got it. I mean, he has batted it out of the stadium.
Oh yeah, he's our slugger for sure. But those that can't do teach. So
Yeah.
I don't know something, I teach it.
Not in this company.
If you can't do it, you better be teaching it. That's for sure.
Exactly. Study it, man.
Be in
Oh,
class.
No, Jesse helped me a lot, so he's
super helpful.
good go-to guy. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this is your mastermind. I just wanted to share a little bit of that question technology and theory with you and help you ask better questions. Those who ask the better questions in a conversation do what?
Control the conversation.
Oh, the conversation.
It's not about asking questions. It's about asking
Powerful questions.
powerful questions. I love that, Charity. Thank you. Oh.
The issues I have, Dan, about is when I'm talking to someone, especially I've never met them before, and is remembering all the important questions to ask them. And then I feel like a failure when I get off the phone, like, darn, I forgot to ask them this or this or this. And then I have to follow up with either another call or a text or an email. And I just, I hate that.
If you're working with buyers, Stuart Title has a really great buyers packet that has like all your all the questions that you should ask or could ask. And there's lots of templates to it, but yeah, if you need that or want that, I can send it over to you.
Oh, that would be helpful. I can check it off and
Copy me on the email if you would.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, drop me your email and
yeah, send it to Dan. He can distribute it to us all.
Sounds good. I'll throw it to Dan.
I just got one from, I subscribe to Lab Coat Agents, Tristan Almada. And he just sent out one, like 22 questions, which there's actually like 3 or 4 questions within each question to pre-qualify your buyer. And it's pretty good too. I just downloaded it today. But I have one, I figured what I would do is I would take them and amalgamate whatever I get so that I keep adding whatever questions come to mind. I just add it to the list.
I guess, after I'm talking with them a little more, you get to that point, you're digging in deeper and getting more information. Just when I'm making that first initial leads call from an ad, Facebook ad or whatever, it's, I'm excited that finally someone answered the phone, and then it's like, oh crap, what do I do now? It's like they answered.
They answered. What do I do? You script and role play so you don't get in that situation.
Yeah. Well, you're dialing all these numbers and you're like, oh, a live person's on here. It's like, oh shit.
They answered the phone. I didn't. I was all, ah. But that's the thing. It's just I distract myself when I'm dialing so that the ringing doesn't do anything. And then when they pick up the phone, I snap back into it. I'm all, hey, this is Dan Caldwell from Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. How are you? And I'm like, oh, fuck, what was his name? When you're doing stuff like that, Teresa, it's really great to have a guide in front of you to go head to toe, top to bottom, inside out, whatever you want. But you don't want to be so methodical that you're asking them a bunch of super personal questions right off the bat when you haven't built the right to do so. That's why it's always best to have a great conversation, a couple of minutes, keep it light, and then ask for an appointment. And when you're in front of them, that becomes more of a serious situation where you can sit down and go over that buyer's packet and ask those important questions.
Yeah. It's just so many people don't want to meet face to face right now. So that's an issue, but I can do Zoom call.
There are 12 of us meeting face to face right now.
Right.
Well, technically, Jesse, we're looking at his ear, but whatever.
Sorry, my big screen's right here. The little one's right here where my camera is.
Yeah, same with my office. I'm in my office. But that's the thing, is Teresa, it's the frame of mind. It's the phone call, which is kind of out of the blue, not prepared, not set up, and having a structure to it. It's just winging. Hey, oh crap, someone's calling me. I should answer it. Hello? No, I didn't put a lead in.
So this morning, me, Jason Carlton, Zach Allen, and Josh Jimenez were all here this morning, and we had a lead generation competition. And I would recommend next time that happens, be a part of it. Come by and listen to the scripts that each one of us was using. Zach's scripts were like out of this world. So were Jason's. Like the consistency of their conversations versus the consistency of mine and Josh's. It was just amazing just to see. So, it's not about just saying things verbatim all the time. It's about internalizing the message that you're trying to get across. And as long as you can internalize that message, wherever that conversation goes, you can bring it right back on track and check off those boxes that you need for your lead gen and qualifying. It is amazing. So next time there's a competition, I better see a dozen faces there aside from my own.
Where do you think that competition from?
Invite.
What was that, Ms. Hope?
It's the invite, so make sure we all know about it.
It
Yeah,
was
I
on
didn't
the Facebook page. Yeah.
On the Facebook page.
Got it.
Yep. So we'll see what we can do. We were talking about doing another one. It was just a lot of fun. We had a lot of contacts today. It was amazing.
Let me know, Jesse, when you do the next one, and I'll do a better job of marketing it out there beyond Facebook. Because if you're like me, most of you guys are, you don't check Facebook all the time.
Yeah, no, I got you. We'll make it happen.
And you're like, remove tag.
Just remove tag.
So that's the biggest thing, is having those script offs really help you develop. It's a mastermind in function. When you're sitting around, you're talking those things. In the morning when we're having our scripts and role play, you're building the competencies and understanding the dialogue techniques that are created in those scripts. Amber this morning even said, it's unfair, Dan, you just sound too smooth. Where do you think that came from?
Practice.
Tons of practice. Those of you who know me and been on calls with me, I trip on my words all the damn time until I hit a script, and then it's like, oh, wait.
So since it was a competition, who won?
Jason Carlton won.
Told you he would.
Yeah. But he won on contacts alone. So we had a different point system, right? So we had 1 point for contact, 2 points for nurture, and 3 points for an appointment. Zach won on appointments. I won on nurtures, and Jason won on contacts, and Jason won overall. It was pretty cool.
So the one thing I was in there talking trash to them all because that's what I do. I get in there, I motivate, and I jive. I walked in, I was like, I guarantee Jason wins just from tenacity alone. And it's not just today, it's long term. And what that means is Jason has those contacts. I guarantee Jason will follow up with each and every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your numbers from today?
That's how many appointments were made today, how many contacts were made, and how many nurtures were made just between me, Josh, Jason, and Zach, and Kayla. Kayla Shinnick jumped in too for a little bit.
Blessed appointment. Don't lie to me. I saw the board.
She was there. She was doing good. I was listening to her too in between calls. I'm like, man, she's killing it.
It's all scripting, internalizing. I love that, guys.
Can I ask, how are you, do you all print out your scripts? I need to print mine out, but that's a lot of paper.
I don't.
You
I
can.
practice with them. Then I make a phone call. Before I start making phone calls, I read over my scripts. I'll have them up on my computer. I can glance over at them.
How do you know which one to go to?
Well, I'm usually making a certain set of calls.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm just doing care calls, I don't need a script. Hey, Tess, man, how are you? You doing good? Awesome. How's your kids? How's your family? I know things have been going crazy out of town. You've been leaving a lot. How's work been lately? You handling okay? That's great. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you doing to stay busy? I know you can't be working all the time. You got to do something for your soul. Get out there. Go do it. Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll give that a try.
Makes you just want to slap him, doesn't it? No.
Because I have the conversations up here.
Mm-hmm.
I focus on it so much.
But if you need to jump from there to like asking for an appointment or something like that, that's where I start getting tripped up because my mind just doesn't think fast enough.
Here's something. If
my mind speaks fast, but my mouth doesn't speak fast.
All right. Anyone else have that situation where you're on a call, you got an opportunity for an appointment? What do?
I say, great. Sounds like we need to meet.
Perfect.
That's what
else?
I get the appointment just about every time.
Yeah. Or you could use the next step. Okay, so your next step is we need to meet in the office. Or we need to meet on, on Zoom, do a consultation, something like that. Don't use consultation. That just sounds.
Wait, let's get together and visit a little bit about the home buying. And Tess, I think where it is give yourself enough prep time, like 10 minutes to do your affirmation and then go into your calls. We had a great script and role play with the gal out of Prescott or someplace. Gosh, what's her name? McMahon? Anyway, she said to give yourself 5 or 10 minutes and prep what you're going to say, practice your scripts, and then get into it. I think that may help. I'm going to try it too.
You definitely want to practice because it's only going to get you more competent. Please don't practice on game day. If you guys know what I mean by that?
Yeah. Yeah, practice.
What do I mean by that, Jesse, when I say don't practice on game day?
Don't practice on game day. It means that before you even hit the field, you should already have been practiced. You should already have your skills honed. You should be sharp and ready to go. And if you practice the same day as the game, you're going to be exhausted for when you actually execute. And you don't want to do that. So it's best to just prepare ahead of time, right? Is that pretty much the answer you were looking for there, Big Dan?
Right. Don't wait until you have to know it to figure it out.
Practice on each other.
Practice on each other. I love that. Practice on yourself. Do you think I've scripted with myself before? You think I've talked myself through a situation. That's why I can answer questions in my own head. I'm not crazy, I think.
Hey, I just call that a staff meeting. I'm a single person too. I'm working by myself. It's a staff meeting.
I like it. That's the thing. So practice with each other. You have a lot going on for you. I just dropped the buyer packet in the chat for you guys. Go ahead and download that. That's from Emily.
Yeah, I got it.
So when we talk about those scripts like that, Tess, it's going to be in the situations where, like, okay, having a conversation, you're bopping down the bunny trail, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm not really sure. I'd like to get a little bit more information. Perfect. Great. Awesome. Spectacular. Excellent. Wonderful. Magical. Sounds like you and I need to get together and discuss this further.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how my mind is thinking right now, though. My mind is thinking there's 100 and something scripts in that script book. And how am I going to know which ones to practice before I call? It's sort of like telling me that I need to practice pole vaulting, gymnastics, long range running, baseball, football, whatever, and then just wait for them to pick me for one of them.
Hold on, Tess. I think you're overthinking.
That's what I'm hearing.
Let me bring you back in on that one. You focus on football when you're playing football, which means if you're going to be calling for sale by owners, go over the for sale by owners. If you're calling on cancellations, go over the cancellation script. If you're calling on care calls, go over the care call scripts. Whatever you're calling on, and I want you to be focused, laser focused with all this. It's not just picking up the phone and going through your database and calling A through Z. It's having a very specific set of phone calls you're going to make in that time frame and run with that script. And that's how you do it. If you're going to be in track and you're pole vaulting, then you better practice pole vaulting, because if you're focusing on soccer while you're pole vaulting, you're going to get hurt. And in your situation, if you're calling on care calls, just have the care calls in mind. Replay these classes. We've talked about these. We're working with Heather to get them labeled a little bit better online so you can kind of see what they are, but we do dance around quite a bit. You notice I've been trying to keep the scripting classes very specific. Very Pacific.
That's one of my pet peeves. Don't do that.
And then having those moments, like if you're focusing on one thing, then you need to practice that, get in the mindset of that, repetition, role play, go. Like Teresa the other day, we were talking on something, and I think she's got a point to bring out. We're gonna let her talk on it because you got to hear it from more than just me.
Yeah, when I make these calls to follow up, I've got their name, their phone number, and an email. And I have a system that I go through. I get an introduction email, yada, yada. However, I don't know if that person is a buyer or a seller or both or a renter. Right. So I've got these different scenarios. So when I get them to answer the phone, I have no idea what they want. And I also have to make the introduction email applicable to all scenarios. So it's a little challenging, and then you do have to put on a different hat. Oh, this is a seller. Oh, where are they going to move to? So they're going to actually be buying as well. Oh, this is a renter. Are they going to rent for 1 year? Are they going to be buying eventually? So you have to just try to remember the different scripts and make them applicable to the different situations when you're making these calls and have no idea who you're going to be getting.
And that comes from internalizing them. If you're trying to just think of them because you practiced them the day of or the night before, that's not going to do it. It's an everyday thing. That's part of what our job is as realtors, is to make sure that our skills are sharpened, right? So our negotiating, our scripts are definitely part of it. So that's
why I dig in every day with Dan and you.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it's going to happen, guys. You got to have that focus when you're practicing what you're practicing. And pretty much every conversation should also fall around that triangle that you were talking about. It's all motivation stuff. Whether it's a buyer, they're motivated for a reason. Seller, they're also motivated for a reason. And as long as you can do that qualifying within that initial conversation, then you can worry about what your script's going to be for listings and then the buyer consultations and stuff like that. So if you kind of keep it a little general, like I kind of do myself, I keep it a little general, not so specific that it's just buyers, sellers. Like, I just want to find out motivation, see if it's something that I'm going to say, you know what, after hearing that, I think we should meet. After I say that, then I'm shifting once I know what they're doing.
Mhm.
Good question, Tess. Thank you. I will challenge guys. There's a lot of scripts out there, a lot, and you don't need to know them all. Master a few. Don't worry yourself with mastering every one of them and knowing that, oh, hi, this is Dan Caldwell from ABC Realty. I noticed your house came off the market last night, and I was wondering if you're still selling it. Oh, it's unlikely I have a buyer for your property, sir. What I do is I specialize in helping people sell their house the second time. God, no, you don't need to rattle off this shit. You're not me. I don't want you to be me. And trust me, I'm not that good at it. I just don't fail in front of most people. Often on recording that you can go. I'm just saying this comes from conscious effort and purposeful practice. I want you guys to practice for perfection, practice to win, not practice to stay in the game, not practice just to get through it. I want you to be to a point where it's internalized, it's become who you are, and now it just becomes normal communication. Look at the way I talk and David talks versus, some of the people on TV and random, reality shows and stuff like that. You think David Jones is not scripting every freaking conversation he has? It's embedded in him. Jesse, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I want to add to that. So some of you know I'm a musician. So one thing that I learned from an amazing teacher that I had was there's no such thing as practice makes perfect. Only perfect practice will make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So you got to practice the right way. You have to practice exactly what you need it to be. So that stuck with me, and that's been my mindset around everything that I practice. So maybe that'll help too. Look at yourself in the mirror. Like right now, I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm looking at the way I look to all of you guys. I don't want to look like a doofus, like, yeah, poking my nose over here, I'm looking at the way I'm looking right now, so I can convey that I'm actually smiling over here, that I'm actually doing this. So that's a lot like looking in the mirror in the mornings and just saying, this is going to be a great day, doing your affirmations. I'm a great realtor. I'm a great salesperson. Like whatever it is, they can hear what you sound like. If you sound like this, I'm just calling to see if you're looking to sell your home and everything looks good. I sound like my face looks, right? I sound like my face looks. Like it doesn't sound appealing, doesn't sound cool. But if I'm like, hey, this is Jesse Rojas, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. I'm just calling you today just to see how you're doing. And I want to know if there's anything I can do for you today. Like that has a completely different energy versus the first one, right? So look at yourself in the mirror. That helps.
Smiling and sometimes standing up helps too. Just getting the energy. So at least a smile.
I like that. Stand up too. Let the energy flow. Stretch out. Do some calisthenics. Do a push-up. Yell at your mom. Get excited. You want to know one of the best mind hacks you can do? You guys want to watch it? You ready? You ready for this? All right. Put your waters down. Put your cups down. Everybody, you following me?
Yeah.
All right. You ready? Everyone, get your arms, and then just hold them out for a couple seconds. And think of how big am I? My arms are out wide. I'm taking up a lot of space. Come on, Teresa, you can get them out further than that. Yeah.
All right.
How do you feel now?
A little more stretched out.
You feel like you feel like your energy's up a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it allows your thing to open up.
Do you know why you yawn and you go?
Yeah.
It's a natural reflex, and what that world is. That's nature putting that default in us. Like, mess with me, I'm this big. Come at me, bro. I'll mess around. I'm big, I'm strong, I'm powerful. Look at these arms, I'm out here. I'm not tucked in and tight and closed like, oh my God, don't answer the phone. I don't want to talk to you. I'm scared of talking to people. No, you want to be big and powerful. I am awesome. I am great. I do what others can't do. I change people's lives. Right? If you're having trouble making some phone calls, put your arms out. Say your affirmations that way.
I actually think and talk better walking around. Maybe that's what I should do.
You do. I got a headset. You'll see me. I will be walking through the office on a recruiting call or a listing call, and people will think I'm talking to them and answer me. And I'm like, because fear kind of covers it a little bit. I know Jesse has answered some of the questions I've asked clients before. That's the thing. So get in the mindset. Mindset is everything. We talk, this is the mastermind always turns into some kind of coaching, and that's what you guys pay me for, right? And the kitty cats. This kitty cat is bombing us again. But the biggest thing you can take away from any one of our classes, any one of our calls, any one of our interactions is that when you show up, you develop. And Tess, in the last 4 months that I've known you, actually it's less than that now. It's much less than that. It just feels like you have become so much more than you were. All of you have. Now, what's going to happen in 4 more months, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now? What could you become? So we talked about being unrealistic about where we're going, right? Know where you're at. Know where your shortfalls are. Know where your shortcomings are. Know that you suck at scripting. That's great. That's a starting point. We've all met the 40-year-old dad that thinks he's cool. Right? Somebody lied to him and he never let it go. He is not realistic of where he's at. You need to be. Fanny packs aren't cool. Okay?
They're making a comeback. Some of them are.
I just saw that.
Oh, God. This is why the mountain's on fire, God. Okay? You shall cleanse the earth the first time with water and the second with fire. Just saying. Not to get biblical or anything, but, know your history. But no, that's the thing. Know where you're at. Know what you struggle with so that we can work on it. Strengthen your competencies. Make yourself more dynamic. Move on. Become a better agent. Be able to service your clients better. You are doing your clients a disservice by not practicing. You are doing your fellow agents a disservice by not knowing your contracts. You're doing your company a disservice by not showing up to classes. I don't want you to die by Zoom or die by class, but I sure as hell don't want you to die on the vine either.
Most of all, Dan, let ourselves down. Don't we let ourselves down mostly, right? I know we're letting people down, but ourselves.
Unfortunately, the fallacy of your self-love and self-hate and self-destruction, it's so easy to lie to yourself. That's why you have me. That's why you have each other.
Yeah.
You can let yourself down and you can just beat yourself up about it. But it'll never hurt as bad as letting somebody down that you respect.
That's true.
Because I hate to say it, too many people in this world don't respect themselves. That's why accountability can't be self-accountability.
Well, we're deluded about it anyway.
You're 100% right, Tess. 100%. It's deluded. It's delusional. It's delusional.
Delusional.
Delusional. What did you say, Miss Hope?
Oh no, I don't know. Hey, I got a manicure the other day, and my son said, "Have you got a recent sale to back up that person for a manicure?" And I'm like, "Yes, I did. I got a sale." But I mean, when you get static kids, a whole lot of fridge, and we've been saying them back and forth, and talking about mindset. So anyway, I don't want to ramble.
No, rambling. I love it, Hope. Teach them young. Teach them young. Let's change the generation of Tide Pod eaters.
Please.
No offense. My son's part of that generation. God, I'm worried because his brothers, oh man. Oh man.
Well, I'm glad to say mine know better. So
Because they've got a great mom. You taught them better. They had you showing them the way. You were taught. You were teaching. They are following. You guys do the same thing. So if you're stuck on something, reach out for help. If you don't know where to reach out, ask. If you feel like you have a deficiency in your business or personal life that is inhibiting you from moving forward into your success, that is a negative thought pattern. That is a story you are telling yourself. Let's go to a powerful question. Whose story are you telling? Is it Robin? Or is it Robin, the badass realtor?
Realtor Robin, on her way, learn and grow.
Learning and growing. But that's the thing. Let's ask that question. Whose story am I telling? Who hurt you to make you think you weren't good enough? Who told you you suck at phone calls? Right? Who reached out and said, hey, Dan, never call me again. You are terrible on the phone. The worst. Like quite literally the worst. I've heard bad phone calls, and yours was so bad it made those bad phone calls look not so bad. Okay? That phone call has never happened. I assure you, I know that about your lives already, because people aren't that rude. And the ones that are that rude don't matter.
You don't want to talk to.
Don't matter.
well, even those that are rude, you have to keep in mind it's just something called transference. So they're upset with them. They're upset with their lives, and you got to shake it off.
Shake it off. Shake it off. Sorry, Taylor Swift came over me.
You just smile and say, have a blessed day now. Thank you.
I wish you guys could jump in my brain for a day and see what my life is like, so you can
I
understand.
don't know if I'd ever recover, Dan.
It's a wicked drug.
It'd be a trip.
It's coming from a place where you're always going to be developing, you're always going to be growing, you're always going to be searching for the next step. So if you get yourself in that that scripting trap test, who's running this ship? Who cares if you botch a phone call? Call them back in a few weeks. Okay?
You should have seen me fall on my face earlier this morning. I had one phone number that was listed for a house that I was circles prospecting on, and the phone number belonged to a teenager, like a kid, like a very young person. I was like, after I did my intro, I listened to their voice and I was like, oh my gosh, you're a child. I'm hanging up now. And then the guys were like they were like laughing at me, like, dude, what was that? I was like, that was a wrong number. So all I did was move on to the next one, but it kind of scared the crap out of me.
If they're 18, they can buy property. I don't know if you'd want to go asking their age, but
I didn't even want to. I was like, I'm sorry, I'll remove your number from my list. Click.
Dude, what was that? That was a wrong number.
There's some weird guy calling something about realty. I don't know.
But be careful, Jesse. I had a cousin that sounded like she was 5 years old, and she would always get phone calls, and people would say, is your mommy home? And she would go, I am the mommy.
I didn't even want to push it. So I was like, okay, wrong number. Sorry about that.
All right, let me hear some takeaways from our class. We're diluting into our insanity in the last couple minutes of our night. I want some takeaways, some ahas, some touching moments, maybe something that resonated.
The triangle.
You already put up the triangle.
I like the who because it does generate a lot more energy, but it's more challenging to come up with the who questions.
They are very challenging. They're sparingly used. So that's why change what? Take your whys, make them whats.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
for me, practice makes better. I like Jesse's spin on it, but I say practice makes better.
So
I love that. Practice makes permanent. I love that. Who here doesn't know how to ride a bike? Who hasn't ridden a bike in a long time? Who would feel confident stepping on a bike right now and just taking it around the block and not being, I mean, you'd be winded like me. I'm already tired thinking about it.
Good.
But you could do it, right? You could get on the bike and you could go again. And it may have been years. So Jesse's right. Practice makes permanent. I love that. Fucking love it. I'm going to make an Instagram post about that.
Tag me in it, bro.
So,
yeah. The other part to that was perfect practice makes perfect.
yeah.
And
Perfect
also as a performer is like practice it as you would perform it. So
Bruce Lee said, I am not afraid of the man that practices 1,000 punches. I am afraid of the man that practices a single punch 1,000 times. So don't be the master of all, master the few, and become dynamic at it. And you will see over time, as you practice your scripts and you practice all this role play, there's an underlying consistency in all of it. You'll get there. Just keep showing up. That's half the battle. The other 25% is listening. 10% is actually participating. And then 15% is application and practice. I don't know if those are accurate stats. They make sense.
83% of all stats spoken are fake, including that one that I just said.
You have something, Miss Laura? I love it. Laura's just driving down the freeway and she's on the call now. And Jason. What's up? Awesome, guys. Well, thank you hanging out. I appreciate it. We're back on that topic for the fire. You guys could share those posts in your social media spheres. Make your own post. Hey, guys, there's a big fire. We're calling out for some community help. I know we just got over the corona pandemic. Let's help our firefighters here at home. We do need water and supplies. You can drop them off to our market centers, and we'll get it picked up. All the team leads, all the staff will take care of all that. And the email that David sent out earlier, sorry, Lisa sent out earlier, had some direct links in there, and be the source of the source, right?
Okay.
Awesome, guys. Jazz hands. Woo! I just want to see what kind of random stuff I get you guys to do. I love it.
Hey, the way you participate in here is the way you participate everywhere.
If you don't embrace the weirdness in real estate, you'll never succeed. Awesome, guys. So thank you again for hanging out with me. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.